Good morning, everyone. This is Kelly with Premier Life and Annuities, and this morning I have with us Jared Gustanczyk from Foresters, and he's going to be going over some life products that take care of the entire family. If you do have questions throughout the presentation, go ahead and type them in. We will get to all of those at the end of the presentation. Jared, it's all yours.
Well, thank you. I certainly appreciate the opportunity. Good morning, everyone. I'm Foresters National Training Manager. I always like to joke before I get started. Over here on the left-hand side, they caught me on a good day. It doesn't happen all that often. But to give you an overview, I'll be first talking about Foresters Difference for about the first 15 minutes. What gives you that really unique story to talk about on top of life insurance. Spending about another 30 minutes on products, support, and then finally for the last 10-15 minutes, opening up to any questions. Again, encourage you to ask any questions as we're going through. So we've been around for over 140 years, championing the well-being of families through quality life insurance. Yes, we offer great life insurance, but as a fraternal company, we give back to our members, their families, and the communities in which they live in. We've been rated A by AM Best for 15 consecutive years. This gives you and your clients a lot of peace of mind with the company on who you're doing business with. Now I say, a couple reasons for a strong financial position. One, we have a conservative investment strategy. That's definitely helped us in the long run. Two, we're a Canadian-based company. We're actually based out of Toronto, Ontario. That means that we abide by the Canadian regulatory requirements, which tend to be more conservative. We have assets currently of $11.9 billion in Canadian funds and surplus of $1.9 billion in Canadian funds. What we're looking at over here on the left-hand side of the screen is a nice marketing piece regardless of what product you're working with Foresters, called Foresters Financial Strength. Greatly behind, again, giving those clients peace of mind, talking about our assets, surplus, and our A rating. So we're a fraternal benefit society. So what does that exactly mean? The insured automatically becomes a member with Foresters when they take out what we call a certificate. It's equivalent to another company's policy. Just as a fraternal company, we call it a certificate. No other paperwork to fill out. Once issued, they automatically become a member. Now, you may have worked with some fraternal companies in the past that have a religious or ethnic requirement. We do not. We are non-denominational. Our simple concept is people helping people. Down at the bottom, excuse me, very important, we're not subject to federal income tax. We're a 501c8 corporation, but rather than pay that tax, we're required to give those dollars back to our members in the communities in which they live in order to maintain our fraternal status. So this is how we can fund what I'll be talking about over the next several slides, work we do in the community and our member benefits. So we have three partners in the community: Kaboom, Ronald McDonald House, and most recently, Red Cross. Now, Kaboom, you may or may not have heard of them. I always say, they have one goal. It's a very aggressive goal, but they want to have a playground within walking distance of every child within the U.S. Been partners now with them for over 9 years. Invested more than $10 million on these playgrounds that we sponsored. We're at, I believe right now, 122 different playgrounds that we've sponsored with them throughout the years. These are literally constructed in one single day. You show up into an empty lot Saturday morning with all the equipment. Saturday afternoon, these are up and running. Very finely orchestrated with Kaboom. Kaboom designs these to last. They anticipate they'll last more than 15 years and more than 20,000 children will be able to enjoy each playground. So if there are any playgrounds that are taking place, you can find this information. I have the next slide here. Most of these, of course, have been completed at this point in time in the year. But by logging on to Foresters.com, clicking on Foresters Difference in the upper left-hand corner. So I encourage you, if there are a playground that's taking place in your area, bring your family. There's children's activities, existing members, potential members, help build those relationships. It's a very rewarding activity. I jokingly say try to avoid, I've been with Foresters now for about 8.5 years, so I've had the opportunity to do many different playgrounds throughout the years. I jokingly say try to avoid mulch duty, but at the end of the day, that's typically the last project. But again, very rewarding. Once we do complete a playground build, we put together over here on the left-hand side what's called a proof point. So this one here happens to be last year when we did our 100th playground build in St. Paul. So all these proof points down here at the bottom, you can put in your own personal information and print those off. Great marketing piece for you. Also, we have what's called state proof points. for example, what we did last year in your state. It's available, I believe, right now for 42 different states. And all these proof points, if there's time here at the end, I can log on to Foresters.com. You're going to find those under Foresters Difference in the upper left-hand corner. Again, most of these have completed this year. Next is our partnership with the Ronald McDonald House. We've been partners with them for over 4 years. What they do is provide a safe, affordable, and fun place for families to stay when their child needs medical care. Now, typically the level of care that they need isn't found at that local hospital. This involves traveling, no expenses for those families. This helps reduce those costs. Also, as we all know, this can be a very challenging time for those families. They try to make it as enjoyable as possible. Lastly is our partnership with American Red Cross. So teaming up with American Red Cross and also used in conjunction with the last member benefit I'll be talking about today are community grants. Members can apply for a grant, team up with American Red Cross. They're going to go through safety training as well as prepare what's called grab-and-go kits in the event of emergencies. So those kits are for local members in that community, their family, and friends. Emergency assistance grants. In the event of a natural disaster, we're going to reach out to our members and offer them up to $300. Now, I always say, $300 may not sound like a lot of money to you, Ryan, but in the event they no longer have a home to go to, this can help pay for shelter. So in the event something does happen in your area or your members' area, I encourage you to reach out to them. 1, make sure they're doing okay. 2, have them contact Foresters to receive their grant. Down the road, they may not remember how much money they received, but they're going to remember that you were there in their time of need to help them out. So over here, I have postings for 2015. So to give you an idea, storms and flooding in Texas and Oklahoma, wildfires in Washington State, California, and most recently, this was posted last week, the flooding that took place in South Carolina. All right, so next I want to go through and review member benefits. And I encourage you to talk about all these benefits, whether it applies to that existing or potential client. The reason for that is, even if they can't benefit from it, they're going to know somebody that can. Our top producers are talking about these day in and day out. These are going to help you do 3 positive things for your business. 1, help you close the sale. They like the product, they like doing business with you, but for some reason, they may be on the fence. 2, help you get referral business. I'll give you some suggestions as we're going through. And 3, help you retain the business. Because if they're aware of all the extra value that you're providing on top of life insurance with Foresters, it's going to be difficult for somebody to come behind you and replace that business. Let's just start with competitive scholarships. We offer up to 250 new scholarships every year. That's up to $8,000 to help offset the high cost of college. Now, who can apply for this? That's the member, that's the insured again, their spouse, dependent children 24 and under, and even grandchildren. So that's a large market for you, regardless of what product you're working with. Now, it is competitive, so we are looking at a minimum GPA of 2.8 or higher and at least 48 hours of community service within the last 24 months. And one note on that, it is more heavily weighted on community service. 65% of the weighting is on community service. We're looking for community leaders. The enrollment period is from December 1st through the end of February, so throughout the year. Reach out to those existing members, potential members. Ask them, who do you know that could use $8,000 to help offset the high cost of college? Everybody knows somebody. Excuse me again. Over here on the left-hand side, we have another proof point. This one here talks specifically about our competitive scholarships. Terminal illness loan. Clients are worried that they do become terminally ill. How are they going to pay their medical bills? Have their families live comfortably? Terminal illness defined by Foresters, reasonable certainty of death within 12 months. In that case, they're going to have access up to 75% of the face amount of $250,000 in an interest-free loan. So at a time when that family needs money the most, they're going to have access to that. Now, I know a lot of other companies may offer something similar, but there's no setup fees, there's no rider charges, and again, no interest on that loan. I will also be talking about our ABR, a great living benefit for our clients, when I get into more information on the products. Orphan benefits, very significant when you're working with those families that have children. Let's say you're right, mom and dad, and unfortunately they both pass on. We're going to pay $900 per month per child to a legal guardian to the age of 18. That's above any death benefit. Now, 2 key points. Both parents need to be alive at time of application, and both parents need to pass on. I encourage you, you don't have to, but I encourage you to write both mom and dad. Now, let me give you an example of why. Let's say you just write mom. She passes on. 12 months later, dad passes on. Well, unfortunately, this wouldn't apply because there was no membership in place after mom passed on. But now let's reverse that. You write just mom. Dad passes on. 12 months later, mom passes on. Well, this would apply because there was that membership in place. But again, both parents need to be alive at time of application, and both parents need to pass on. This can also be a very easy source for referral for you. When meeting with those clients, taking that application, get the name and number of the legal guardian. Let them know, once issued, you'll be reaching out to those guardians to explain how this benefit works, an easy source for referral. Along the same lines, we have our orphan scholarship. Death of one parent in a 2-parent household, we're going to provide up to $6,000 per child to help them go to college. Again, above any death benefit. Second bullet point, death of a single parent. So single parent defined by Foresters is just one parent is raising and financially responsible for those children. If that single parent passes on, we're going to provide up to $12,000 per child to help them go to college. And the third bullet point, death of both parents. In a 2-parent household, they both pass on, we're going to provide up to $24,000 per child to help them go to college. And again, above any death benefit. The next 3 we're going to be talking about great living benefits. We have Everyday Money, Legal Link, and Community Granting. So what we're looking at in this slide, Everyday Money, what they do is provide free, confidential financial counseling for those members. They could have questions across the board. Maybe something as simple as, should they refinance their mortgage? They want to pay down some debt. And I always point out, they're not in competition with you. They cannot sell any products. They were brought on board to assist you in doing business with Foresters. Great feedback, what I hear from the field is when those clients are struggling financially. Unfortunately, as we all know, one of the first things they may want to discontinue is their life insurance. Have them call Everyday Money, restructure their budget, keep the business on the books for you. Next, we have Legal Link. I look at it as 3 tiers of services. Free, discounted, access to Legal Club of America discounts. Legal Club of America has about 20,000 attorneys. When meeting with those clients, taking that application, ask them if they have a will in place. You'd be surprised how many do not, or if they do, when's the last time, excuse me again, they had that updated. Once issued, reach out to them, have them call Legal Link. They may be eligible for a free simple will with free annual updates. Now this is going to do 2 positive things for you. 1, help build that relationship, but 2, they're going to see the value of Foresters immediately, more than simply just life insurance. Yes, you provided their life insurance, now they have their will in place. If they need more than a simple will, any other legal advice, Legal Club of America will not charge more than $125 an hour. That can save your clients hundreds of dollars. And the last member benefit I want to review is our Community Granting Program. Members can apply for up to 2 grants a quarter. So for community involvement grants, up to $2,500 per grant. So I always say, in a perfect world, they could literally get up to $20,000 per year to help with their local community. So there's 2 types, community involvement and member involvement grants. So community involvement grants would be, for example, provide members with funds to independently organize volunteer activities that contribute to well-being of families. Cleaning up a park. There's a park down the street, hasn't been maintained. Maybe assembling some benches, or assembling hygiene kits for homeless, get packs for disadvantaged. So that's community involvement. Member involvement would be provide members with deeply discounted, if not free tickets for fun family activities, such as day at amusement park, sporting event, evening at the movies. So to help paint the picture here, so member benefits for helping generations. You write 2 parents with 3 small children, ages 1, 3, and 5. Unfortunately, they both pass on. Well, we're going to pay the death benefit on the parents, which are going to help the children. Over on the left-hand side, orphan benefits, we're going to provide up to $486,000. That's at $900 per month per child to a legal guardian until the age of 18. Then when those 3 children go to college, another $72,000, or $24,000 per child, for a total of $558,000 above any death benefit. So what do I mean by helping generations? A lot of times, but not always, those grandparents are going to be the legal guardians of their grandchildren. As we all know, people are working later in life these days simply because they can't afford to retire. They've raised one generation. They can't afford to raise a second generation. You've helped 3 generations right there. So let's talk about supporting resources. Over on the left-hand side, it's called our prospecting brochure. Highlights those member benefits. I recommend you leave as many as you see fit with any client that you're meeting. In the center, we have our proof point. This one here talks about our competitive scholarships. And again, all these proof points, whether it's talking about member benefits, state proof points, work we did last year, Kaboom proof points, can all be found by logging on to Foresters.com, Foresters difference, upper left-hand corner. And again, down here at the bottom in blue, put in your own personal information, great marketing pieces for you. Last thing I want to talk about on this screen, another key resource for you is Producer Guide to Member Benefits. It's over 30 pages. You can run to those very detail-oriented clients. It's going to be a great resource. So all these materials can be found by logging on to Foresters.com, or I'm going to post a number here at the end to the sales support desk. They're a key resource. They can help you get started with all the marketing materials, applications that you need. So that was a good review. Again, it gives you that unique story to talk about on top of just life insurance, work we do in the community, being a fraternal company, our member benefits. Let's next go through and review products. So whole life products, we have PlanRate, our final expense, Advantage Plus, participating whole life, Your Legacy, single premium, participating whole life, Smart UL, current assumption UL. Term products, we have Strong Foundation, and if there's time, I'm going to touch on Prepare Today. Let's just start with PlanRate. So it's a whole life product, simply for people to pay their final expense. There's a growing need for this product out there in the market simply because the U.S. population is getting older. U.S. population age 65 and older is expected to double within the next 25 years. By 2030, almost 1 out of 5 Americans will be age 65 years or older. People want to live as financially independent as long as they can, and when something happens, they don't leave any expenses behind to family members or loved ones. This product takes care of that need. It's point-of-sale underwriting. I'll be talking about very fast issue. The application in most states is only 3 pages. Third bullet point I have here is, according to the National Funeral Directors Association, the average cost of a funeral in 2012 was about $8,300. That's the bare bones. I'm not talking about flowers, facility, transportation, food. So our PlanRate, non-med only, so no blood, no urine, no attending physician statement. With that point-of-sale underwriting, you know what they're medically eligible to apply for before leaving the client's home. Quick issue. The majority of the cases, over 50% of the cases that are coming in good order, are being issued that same day. Quick pay for you. Face amounts, down to $2,000 up to $35,000. So you can find a face amount that's going to work with whatever budget that client's on. So it's available with level, graded, and modified. So if you're new to final expense, I look at it this way. Modified's good, graded's better, level's best. What's going to determine that is simply the health of the client. How they answer the questions. On the application, there's 1 page of medical questions, and when we do that personal health interview, and I'll be talking about that, we know exactly right then and there what they're medically eligible to apply for. So let's talk about level. Issue ages, this is age last birthday from 50 to 85, down to 2,000 up to 35,000 to age 80, 85 up to 15,000. Once issued, 100% of the face amount. Graded, I look at that as middle of the road. Issue ages are also 50 to 85, 80 up to 20,000, 85 up to 10,000. Now, if anything were to happen in year 1, they're going to receive the greater of 30% of the face amount, or return of premium, plus 4.5% interest. Similar in year 2, the greater of 70% of the face amount, or return of premium, plus 4.5% interest. Years 3 and beyond, 100%. Lastly, let's talk about modified. Issue ages are up to 80, up to 15,000. If anything were to happen in years 1 and 2, they're going to receive return of premium plus 10% interest. Years 3 and beyond, 100%. So let me give you some numbers on this. The majority of the cases are coming in level. About 92% level, another 4% graded, another 4% modified. This is from issue ages, again, 50 to 85, designed for the senior market, very generously underwritten. So premiums, age last birthday, we have rates for male, female, tobacco, non-tobacco. Premiums are available with annual, semi, quarterly, and monthly. Last note I have in this, one application for all 3 plans means one application for level, graded, and modified. Riders, always subject to state availability, but built-in, common carrier, extended protection. We have our accidental death rider that's available with level only. And when working on this product, as I mentioned, 90+% of the cases are coming in with level. I recommend you attach that accidental death rider. Typically, it's only going to be dollars a month. And according to statistics, accidents are the 5th leading cause of death in the U.S. across all ages. So great way, if they were to die as an accident, great way to double their coverage at minimal cost. So let's talk about underwritten. Supported by Aptical, a third party that we work with. Again, focus on the sale, not the underwriting process, because you know what they're medically eligible to apply for before you leave the client's home. You don't send in the application crossing your fingers wondering what the outcome is going to be. You know right then and there, getting a stronger commitment from them. And as I mentioned, 50% of the cases coming in good order, being issued that same day. So look at the process as 4 easy steps. 1, complete the entire application. Call Aptical, what's called a personal health interview. Their number is on the first page of the application. They're available 7 days a week for you. Give them your information, product the client's applying for. Turn the phone over to the client. What they're going to do is review the medical questions. At the same time in the background, they're doing an MIB prescription check. Average call, only 12 minutes. Turn the phone back over to you. Let you know what they're medically eligible to apply for. Send in the application. So again, complete the application, call Aptical, find out what they're medically eligible to apply for, send in the application. So let's talk about supporting resources. Over here on the left-hand side, a key resource, our PlanRight Medical Reference Guide. It's 33 pages. It has over 600 medications and 5 pages of medical definitions. So a great piece to help field underwrite those clients when they may not be in perfect health. Another piece I'd recommend, of course, on top of the application and your replacement forms if you're doing any replacement business, is our PlanRight Producer Guide. It's going to go through issue ages, face amounts, talk about level, graded, and modified. To the right of the medical reference guide, again, is that prospecting brochure, highlights those member benefits. Then we have our PlanRight Trifold brochure. Very popular over here on the very right-hand side is our PlanRight Expanded brochure. It's larger font, easier to read. Also, there's a section where you can estimate your client's needs, find out exactly how much coverage they need. You can certainly leave all 3 behind. So 2 important numbers here. First one is Aptical. Again, that's that third party to that personal health interview. They're at 866-844-9276. We're currently going through and expanding these by an additional 2 hours. So right now, hours Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. They're here solely to do that personal health interview. They cannot answer questions on the product, underwriting, quoting, but that's why I have the number to the sales support desk down at the bottom. A key resource. They're your live voice with Foresters. Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. They're at 866-466-7166, option 1. So questions on the product, materials. Here's a client, here's their situation. What product is going to be a good fit? Quoting, we are all here to help you get the business in the door. All right, so now I'm going to switch gears, talk about the remaining products. So I look at it this way. We do a lot of non-medical business with Foresters. Fast, easy, simple. I look at PlanRight, it's kind of like on its own little island, just based off, issue ages 50 to 85 up to 35,000. But you're going to find with our remaining products that we'll be talking about today, common theme. Depending upon the age of the client, non-med up to $250,000. Very easy to work with. So non-med, and I use non-med and simplified issue interchangeably. They mean the same thing. You know, up to including the table 4, depending upon the product. But again, very easy to work with. The last numbers I saw, this was last week, that non-med, everything in good order, the remaining products, we're looking at about 3.5 days to get issued. So again, quick commissions for you. Easy for the clients. No blood, no urine, no attending physician statement. So the first product I want to talk about is our Advantage Plus, our participating whole life. So whole life with all those strong guarantees, guaranteed premiums, death benefit, cash values. Those clients know what they're getting into. You're giving them a lot of peace of mind. On top of the fact that it's participating, so I'll touch on that. So who is this product going to be fit for? Well, issue ages are down to 0 up to age 85, so that's a large market for you. But 30 to 50, looking for long-term cash value growth. 50 to 70, looking for all those guarantees, premiums, death benefit. Our products with Foresters, again, as I mentioned, we do a lot of non-med business. That's our strength. We're middle income. We're middle America. So non-med, again, you're going to see this common theme over the next several products that I'm talking about today. Up to $250,000. We rely on the applicant's answers to health and lifestyle questions. So I mentioned, you know, I use non-med, simplified issue interchangeably, but no blood, no urine, no attending physician statement. Now, with simplified issue, I look at it as you have 3 different ways you can submit business to Foresters. 1, take the paper application, send it in. 2, take the paper application and utilize it, what's called Decision Express. That's point-of-sale phone underwriting. Very similar to what I just talked about with PlanRight. Keep in mind with PlanRight, that is required. This is an option for you, but again, look at it as doing 2 positive things. 1, stronger commitment from those clients because you know what they're medically eligible to apply for right then and there. 2, faster issue. We're looking at shaving 2 days off underwriting time, quicker commission for you. The third option, this is working with Advantage Plus, simplified issue, our e-app. Very easy to work with. I look at this doing 3 positive things, and I can always spend more time on getting into these processes down the road, but I want to go through highlight products today. But real quick, on the e-app, everything's done electronically. No paperwork to bring with. Very similar to the paper application, you can only send it to Foresters if everything's completed on the application. Third, very fast issue. If everything's in good order, we're looking at less than 2 days to get issued, quick commissions. But regardless of how you submit the application, we're only looking at Medical Information Bureau prescription history. Standard up to including a table 4. Clients do not need to be in perfect health. Now I always use the example, let's say you have a client that's a diabetic on oral medication. As long as they're in good weight, good control, they can fit within that table 4. Here's the bill table. Very generous. This is just a snapshot of it, but let's look at down here at the bottom. For example, somebody 5'11" can weigh up to 298 pounds. So non-med, we have 3 insurance classes. Advantage Plus, age nearest. Minimum face amount, $25,000. So 0 to 15, up to $150,000. 16 to 55, up to $250,000. 56 to 75, all the way up to $150,000 non-med. And again, standard up to including that table 4. Easy to work with. So we do have medically underwritten as well. So just to give you an example, minimum for medical, 0 to 15, $150,000, $1. 16 to 70, $100,000. 71 to 75, $50,000. 76 to 85, $25,000. So premiums, so monthly minimums $25, quarterly $75, semi $150, annual $300. So one note on here, monthly, and this applies to all products with Foresters. If they do want to pay monthly, it's drafting from a checking or savings account only. So pre-authorized checking. If they do want direct bill, the minimum for that is going to be quarterly. With Advantage Plus, you have 2 different payment options. You have a 20 pay or pay to 100. When working with those juveniles, that 0 to 15, take a look at that 20 pay option. You can save them a lot of money in the long run. 20 years paid up, no more premiums, all those strong guarantees, cash value, death benefit. Let's say, for example, you're working with a 25-year-old. By the time they're 45, paid up, you've shaved off 55 years of premiums. So let's talk about loans and dividends. This is participating whole life. Some loans are available up to the cash surrender value at the end of the current certificate year. Currently, the loan rate is 5%. A great feature is non-direct recognition. So let me explain what that means. Let's say you have a client that has $100,000 for cash value. They take out a loan for $50,000. If and when we pay those dividends, we're going to pay dividends on that full $100,000, even though they have a loan out for half of that. That's a great feature. Most participating products are direct recognition, but non-direct recognition a key feature. Let's talk about dividends. Dividends are not guaranteed. Foresters has paid out dividends all but 1 year in over 140 years. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it was during World War II. Now, we have that conservative investment strategy, invested in very high-grade bonds. We have a dividend scale. Looking back over the last 10 years, it's been 6.23%. Again, they're not guaranteed, but if you're new to participating whole life, so with this product, you have 4 different dividend options. Paid-up additions. I have default there. That's what the client is going to utilize the majority of the time. What they're doing, taking that dividend option, buying more death benefit, which is also going to build more cash value because it's set to endow at age 121. Second option, on deposit with interest, currently paying a floor at 3.5%. I don't know anywhere where you can get 3.5% these days on deposit. Third option, reduced premiums. I like that option. When you're working with a client that say they want $50,000 for the face amount, they're not interested in increasing that face amount, but as they're getting older, going into retirement, making less income, take that dividend option to reduce premiums. Or the fourth option, simply get that in cash. A lot of great riders that are available with this product, but for today, I want to touch on, we've seen a lot of strength is with our 10 and 20-year term rider. You can give the client the protection that they need today at a very affordable price. If you remember, you can write down $25,000. Then for shorter term needs, income protection, lifestyle protection, mortgage protection attached to that 20-year term rider. So give them whatever coverage you're looking for today. At the end of whether it's 10 or 20 years, that rider will be dropped off, premiums will be reduced, and you can look at that as, if you wrote a base with that minimum $25,000, almost like final expense, a combination sale. I have a lot of great training resources on this product. I believe I have 15 different case studies, so different ways to illustrate this product with riders that are available. And I encourage you, next time you're logged into Foresters.com, click on Training, top center of the page, you're going to find the Producer Academy. So one rider that I did want to talk about today, wanted to point it out, is our ABR, our Accelerated Benefit Rider. This is included at no additional premium. This applies to our Advantage Plus, the product we just talked about. Does not apply to our Plan Right, the first product. But keep in mind with Plan Right, they do have that terminal illness member benefit. So this is included at no additional cost for Advantage Plus, Your Legacy, Single Premium, Whole Life, Strong Foundation, and Smart Universal Life. So clients do not need to be terminally ill and still have access to a portion of their death benefit for chronic and critical. So this is a great built-in rider for those clients, adding a lot of value. On top of that, making it easier for you to sell Foresters. Now, depending upon eligibility and state variations, the rider can be issued one or more of the following eligible illnesses. So currently, this is available in all but 3 states: California, Connecticut, and New York. We're working diligently on those 3 states, but unfortunately, I don't have an ETA on when it is going to be available. And depending upon the health of the client. So as long as they qualify for standard, non-med or simplified issue, they're going to have access to all 3. Now, if they don't qualify for standard, say if we have to do something that's fully underwritten, they would only have access to the terminal illness. But let me go through the definition here. So chronic means the insured unable to perform without substantial assistance for another person at least 2 of the 6 activities of daily living for a period of at least 90 days due to loss of functional capacity, or requires substantial supervision by another person to protect the insured from threats to health and safety due to the insured's severe cognitive impairment. So that's the definition of chronic. Critical means life-threatening cancer, heart attack, stroke, advanced Alzheimer's, end-stage renal failure, major organ failure, and ALS. So again, with chronic and critical, they do not need to be terminally ill, still have access to a portion of their death benefit. So over the life of the certificate, they can accelerate up to 95% of their death benefit up to $500,000. And lastly, terminal illness definition is they have a non-correctable illness which is reasonably expected to result in death within 12 months. Again, built in, no additional cost. So getting back to Advantage Plus, supporting resources. Over here, left-hand side, we have our underwriting guide. Same underwriting guide applies to Advantage Plus, Strong Foundation, Smart UL. A key resource for you. It's going to go through issue ages, face amounts, bill tables. Very nice near the back. Common medical impairments on whether they're going to qualify or not for simplified issue. To the right of that, prospecting brochure highlights those member benefits, Advantage Plus, trifold brochure. Then over here on the very far right-hand side, it's called our Advantage Plus consumer worksheet. Very popular out there in the field. You can put in client's name, date, your contact information, customize it based off base amount, any riders, and member benefits. Again, you can certainly leave all 3 behind. So the last whole life product we're talking about is your legacy. Single premium only, non-med, non-medical only. So who is this product going to be a good fit for? Well, issue ages are also down to 0 up to age 85. So again, that's a large market for you. I see 2 major markets. The senior market, retirees want to allocate a portion of their assets, take it out of their estate, leveraging potential estate value of the asset, putting it into life insurance. Simplicity, non-med only, single premium only. Another market down here at the bottom, grandparents or parents looking to buy coverage on their grandchildren or children, provides a lifetime coverage and protects against unpredictability, such as future uninsurability. So non-med, very similar slide to what we've seen with Advantage Plus. No blood, no urine, no attending physician statement. So I have here with standard underwriting. With this product, we have standard and substandard. So standard is from a table 1 to a table 4. Substandard from a table 5 all the way up to a table 8. With substandard, we would look at an attending physician statement. Regardless, again, simplicity. MIB prescription history, same bill table that we've seen. Insurance classes, there's 4, juvenile, 0 to 15, non-tobacco and tobacco, 16 to 85, substandard, 16 to 80. Age nearest, minimum premiums, 0 to 15, 1,500, 16 to 29, 5,000, 30 to 85, 10,000. Maximums premium across all ages is going to be $500,000, subject to the maximum net amount at risk. So down here at the bottom, maximum net amount at risk. 0 to 15, $150,000, 16 to 55, $250,000, 56 to 75, $175,000, and 76 to 85, $150,000. The easiest way is to look at that as simply net amount at risk is defined as that initial face amount minus that single premium. So this, would be the maximum based off premium that we'd be underwriting for. 1035 exchanges are allowed. So as I mentioned, 2 underwriting classes. Standard, up to including a table 4, juvenile, up to age 15, non-tobacco and tobacco, up to age 85, substandard, from 16 to 80, from table 5 all the way up to a table 8. Very easy to work with. Loans are available, just like we talked about with our Advantage Plus. Another key feature, non-direct recognition. With this product, we have 3 different dividend options. So we have paid-up additions, on deposit with interest, paid in cash. So if you remember with Advantage Plus, we had 4. The only option that we're not looking at that's available with your legacy is reduced premiums, because again, it's single premium only. Riders, again, that accelerated death benefit, included no additional cost, great living benefit for those clients. Product and supporting resources over here, left-hand side, underwriting guide, specific to your legacy, but issue ages, build tables for standard, substandard. Also, in the back, common medical impairments and whether they're going to qualify for med. Or with this product, so whether they're going to qualify for standard, up to including that table 4, or substandard, up to including a table 8. And I always point out, I'm going to pull their number up here at the end. We have a dedicated risk assessment team. So when you're working with those clients that may not be in perfect health, they're a key resource for you. So with this product, also the producer guide, issue ages, base amounts, maximum net amount at risk, client materials, prospecting brochure over here on the left-hand side, highlights those member benefits, your legacy trifold, your legacy consumer worksheet. All right, so last 2 products we'll be talking about today are Smart Universal Life and Strong Foundation. So first off, our Smart Universal Life is a current assumption UL. Commonly asked question I get on this product, is it indexed? It is not. So current assumption UL mean that we at Foresters determine the interest rate. Very happy to say we're paying the highest in the industry today for this type of product at 5.85%. The floor on it is 3%, can never go lower than that. Since inception, over about 4.5 years ago at this point in time, we've never paid lower than 5.75%. So great potential for cash value accumulation. So flexible, meaning that they can overfund it when they can. If they don't have the funds for the premiums, we can take from cash value. So very easy to work with. So when looking at our Advantage Plus, with our Smart Universal Life, you have a client, let's say they're 40 years old looking for $100,000. What's going to be a better fit for them? Well, premiums with the Smart UL are going to be more affordable. And, they can overfund that. It's going to give them more flexibility. Again, that floor on that is 3%, can never go lower than that. Premiums are going to be more expensive with Advantage Plus, but look at that as they're paying for all those guarantees, premiums, death benefit, cash value. If you ran the numbers, side by side with that same premium, potential to build more cash value with our Smart Universal Life. And as we all know, we're in a very low interest rate environment. I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, but you would think that's only going to increase. Target market. Also, this product is down to 0 up to age 85, but 30 to 50, again, same common theme with Foresters. Middle income, lifetime protection. Same slide that we see, non-med up to $250,000. Again, identical slide. Non-med, only thing we're going to look at, down here at the bottom, MIB prescription history. Very easy to work with. Same build table that we've seen over the last 2 products. So, non-med, issue ages of face amounts, age nearest, $25,000 minimum face amount, 0 to 15, $150,000, 16 to 55, $250,000, 56 to 75, all the way up to $150,000, again, non-med, standard up to including that table 4. Medical, available as well, minimums, very similar in structure to what we looked at with Advantage Plus. So 0 to 15, $150,000, $1. 60 to 70, $100,000. 71 to 75, $50,000. And 76 to 85, $25,000. Non-med, 3 insurance classes. Medical, there's 7. Minimum premiums. So let's talk about definition of life insurance test. So with this product, there's guideline premium test or cash value accumulation test. The software defaults to guideline premium test. You're going to utilize that the majority of the time. What that is designed to do is simply build the most cash value in the long run. Typically, when you want to look at cash value accumulation tests, is when you're utilizing a 1035 exchange or a lump sum, want to build the most cash value in the earlier years. You can certainly look at both options. Death benefit options, we have level or increasing. Non-med again, that same common theme, standard up to including in Table 4. Again, a lot of great riders, help customize your client's coverage, but built in. We haven't touched on today, but we have family health, common carrier, and went into more information on that ABR, a great living benefit for those clients. Then we also have our paid-for riders. Supporting resources, again, over here on the left-hand side, underwriting guide, prospecting brochure highlighting those member benefits, SMART Trifold, and lastly, SMART Consumer Worksheet. Again, 3 great leave behinds. All right, so the last product, just checking on time here right now, I want to make sure I have time to go through and answer any questions you may have, is our Strong Foundation, our term product with Foresters. So term product offers level premiums, level death benefits. Those clients know what they're getting into. So you have a choice of a 10, 15, 20, 25, or 30-year term. But again, level premiums, level death benefits. A lot of great riders, customize your client's coverage. Plus, all we tell talking about convertible. Again, that same slide that we've seen, non-med up to $250,000, depending upon age of the client. So no blood, no urine, no attending physician statement, regardless when you're looking at MIB prescription history. And as I mentioned, numbers I saw last week, everything in good order. For simplified issue, cases are being issued in 3.5 days. Same build table that we've seen with the other products. So term periods, age last, minimum issue age is 18, 15-year up to age 70, 20-year up to age 60, 25-year up to age 55, 30-year up to 50. Minimum face amount $20,000. So 18 to 55 up to $250,000, 56 plus up to $150,000. Level premiums annually increasing after the term expires to age 95. Convertible. Convertible with no evidence of insurability the earlier of age 65 or 5 years before expiration of the term. If you're new to life insurance, terms are going to be the most affordable coverage for those clients. Say you're working with younger clients on that limited budget, get them into something. Some coverage is better than nothing. Down the road, you can convert that with no evidence of insurability. Plus, a great feature for you is if you do convert 24 months after issue, fully commissionable to you. Great way to make a second sale down the road. Again, no evidence of insurability. Let's say, for example, you write a 35-year-old on a 20-year term. By the time they become 50, they're permanently and totally disabled, unfortunately. Well, you can still convert that, no evidence of insurability, to permanent protection. So minimum premiums with this product, $10 monthly, $30 quarterly, $60 semi, $120 annual. And one thing I do want to point out, this great feature of Strong Foundation only applies to Strong Foundation as long as they have not smoked cigarettes within the last 12 months. It's going to be non-smoker, meaning they could use cigar, pipe, chewing tobacco. Again, as long as they have not smoked cigarettes within the last 12 months, it's going to be non-smoker. So it's a great feature, and again, only applies to Strong Foundation, but keep that in mind. Again, a lot of great riders. Supporting resources. Left-hand side, again, we have underwriting guide. In addition, to any product that I talked about today, if you're interested, I'd recommend the producer guide. Prospecting brochure, Strong Foundation Trifold brochure. Then over here, very far right-hand side again, is Strong Foundation Consumer Worksheet. So the last product, and I'm just checking on time here, we're getting pretty close, is our prepared accidental death. A couple things on that. It's not approved in all states, so it's accidental only. In all but 2 states, it does require you to have a health insurance, and that's Florida and Indiana, with the exception of those 2 states. But keep that in mind. I want to talk about additional supporting materials. because I know there was a lot of information we went through in a very short period of time. Again, certainly appreciate the opportunity. So support, whether it's webinars. I do a regular series of monthly webinars. You can always sign up for them in addition to the Producer Academy. Here's a number for the risk assessment team. When working with those clients that may not be in perfect health, they're available Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Their number is 866-466-7166. It's prompt 2 and prompt 2. In addition to, you have the underwriting guides for the products. The sales support desk, here's their number again. Most of them have been out there in the field like myself. They know what you're going through. We're all here to help you get the business in the door, understanding products, materials, quoting. Again, their number is 866-466-7166, option 1. And the last thing I want to talk about, I'm going to need to relog in here again, is additional training resources. So one moment here. And this can be found by going to Foresters.com, clicking on Agent Login. What I was first talking about today is all those proof points, whether it's based off Kaboom Playgrounds, state proof points, member benefits, Foresters difference. What a key resource for you. Anytime you're logged into Foresters.com, click on Training. Top center of the page, you're going to find the Producer Academy. Click on the left-hand side, Self-Directed Learning. I designed this so you can learn what you want, when you want. So very similar to what we're going through today, what's called New Producer. So recording a webinar as well as a slide deck, but you want to review more information on Foresters difference, disclosures. I believe I did send this information out, but again, a lot of key resources. You want to find out more information on Strong Foundation. Last product we talked about. Here's a recorded webinar as well as a slide deck. Basic product information. Rider support, how to quote the product, completing the application. So a lot of key resources. So again, let me go back here. Sales support desk, key resource. So I thank everyone. We have about 5 minutes left. Let's go ahead and open it up to any questions if there are any.
That was great, Jared. Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions. You mentioned on the term that it is non-tobacco if it's anything other than a cigarette. How does Foresters look at folks that use marijuana or use e-cigarettes?
That's a great question. We just actually had this discussion. So e-cigarette, so anything involving nicotine, because you can use the e-cigarette both with and without nicotine, could just be a flavor. But anytime nicotine is involved, it's going to be considered tobacco. So with the exception of Strong Foundation, in that particular case, so with Strong Foundation, using e-cigarette would be still, not smoking any cigarettes. That would be considered non-tobacco. Or non-smoker, I should say. With all of our other products, e-cigarette would be considered tobacco on that. And one of the things, another question that came up last week, and I was with the chief underwriter, Doug, and now we have several states that are legalizing marijuana. So how is that going to be considered? Most of the time what we're looking at in that situation across the board is that marijuana, regardless of what product, would be considered tobacco user at this point in time. And then whether, depending upon what state they're writing business in for, any illegal drug use, they can possibly, potentially, in Colorado, answer no to that. But to summarize, with the exception of Strong Foundation, e-cigarette would be considered tobacco, and marijuana would also be considered tobacco for underwriting classification. But great questions.
We get asked that quite a bit here, with the number of states that are legalizing that.
Sure.
Just one other question. We have an agent that would like you to explain the impact of a loan on a $100,000 policy from Foresters versus a loan on a policy from a direct recognition carrier.
Oh, sure. Yep, so how that works again is, and that applies to our Advantage Plus and your Legacy, our single premium whole life. So, for example, client has $100,000 cash value. They take out a loan for $50,000 of that, so half of that. We're going to still pay dividends on that full $100,000, where not or direct recognition, another company would only pay dividends on that $50,000. So depending upon where the dividend rate is, they're going to get half with the direct participation versus we don't care what loan amount they have, whatever that cash value is, we're going to still pay out that full face amount. So again, when they are utilizing loans in that situation on top of the, with participating products, again, we're not going to deduct, take off anything that they have out there for a loan balance on that. So again, that's a real nice selling feature because the majority of those participating products are going to be direct recognition.
Great, thanks, Jared. Very, very informative webinar this morning. Foresters has lots of great products and lots of great benefits beyond the product itself as well for your clients. If any of you do have further questions that didn't get answered, or if you have some cases that you'd like us to take a look at, give your life marketer here at Premier a call. You can reach us at 800-365-8208. Just ask for a life marketer and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you everyone for your time, and thank you again, Jared.
Well, thank you again for the opportunity, and have a great week, everyone.